want to show you is in regards to the productivity tools that we have within MYOB Advanced. The best way to show you that to start off with is under the Organisation and Communication area and under this Tasks area. Now Tasks displays us all the tasks that we have assigned for ourselves or other people have assigned for us to do, and it lists them so we can see that I have calls to check that the pricing is good for this opportunity. Now what I could also look at as well is my events, and my events are showing me the diary entries that have been set up by, yet again, by myself or other people, and it gives me a list of things that I have to actually do today, this week, or even this month. Now this area is probably better highlighted if I go into my organisation and communicate and customer management area and go under opportunities. Now if I drill into this opportunity, you can see we've got an activities tab that displays all of the activities linked to this opportunity, and this is very similar in terms of sales orders, purchase orders, even things like quotes or even projects themselves. Now from here I can see that I've set up an online visit, I've sent the pricing, and then I've got to go and actually do my installation planning, and if I click on that, what it does is it shows me that I've set up a time and an end time. I can set up a priority and a category if I choose, which you would normally be used to, and I can also invite other people, so Jenny would be attending this with Michael. Now from here, if I go into the switch options in another opportunity, we can see under the activities tab that I've actually got a task, and when it comes to tasks, they're a little bit different to events, as you would imagine, and those allow me to actually set up what is the completion of this, have I actually done it. It also allows me to put in more information, so they've said call back in 6 months, and in this case it means I can then just simply go complete and follow up, and what it should do is it'll pre-populate with more information, and I can then say call to check pricing is good, and I can even set it and go forward into September, and I can set that to actually be in there, and it will appear in my task list to do. Now in this case the one that was originally in there is set to be completed. Now the other area in terms of our productivity tools is actually kind of centered around this area called time and expenses. Now time and expenses can be used in several different methods, and if we're just doing direct expense receipts and claims for employees and paying them via AP bills, we can use that. If we're just doing timesheets, for example, we can put in timesheets and they can enter them in and they can be approved by whoever. Now what we can also do though, we can actually use it in projects, so we have a projects accounting module, and we also have under finance we have a customer contracts module. Now the customer contracts module then lends itself into an area called cases, and if I go into this case, we can actually see that this is a case that has been opened by one of our customers who has or has not a contract, and we can then create an activity. So we have slow internet speed and we've checked the connection, and then from this activity we can then see that it's a work item, and we've actually put that we spent 30 minutes on this and we will only bill them for 15 minutes. But what this means is that once I've actually set it, I can then, if I choose to, under my finance accounts receivable area, I can then run my contract billing, and it means that I can run it based on that contract and actually charge them a certain rate based on their support contract or based on labour that I set up. Now in a similar kind of vein, what I can actually do under organisation and projects is I can actually create a project and I can actually track all of my expenses and all of my hours. Now the way in which this works is I can set up a project, I can set up who's in charge of the project, and I can also set up billing rules and allocation rules. Now these allow me to then bill and charge on any expenses or any materials, or even I can charge on any time spent by my consultants. Now I can set up individual tasks within that project, and then from there I can just go into my time and expenses, and if I chose to, I could actually go in and put in an employee time card, and I can simply go in and pick out an employee, and I can then assign hours against different projects and project tasks from here, and I can say this is the regular hours, this is my project, and this is my project task, and then I can put in that I had 1 hour. Now that then allows me to then save it, and I can then go and submit it, and at this point it's actually saying that it's subject to approval. So the system allows you to actually set up approval mapping to do things like employee time cards, or even expense receipts, or even if I go back to the actual project itself, you can see that this project is actually pending approval, and hence why we can't assign anything against it. So the system allows us to actually see approvals, and back to our organization communication area, it actually has an approvals part, which if I had any approvals to make would appear within here. So that really concludes our productivity tools section of MYOB Advanced.